Next I'm going to demo how to, it's kind of introduction to Sketch a little bit. But I want to be able to take my art and bring it into Sketch, because I like to draw in Illustrator, but drawing in Illustrator takes some time, but I want to be able to lay out my layout in Sketch. So let me quickly make something in Illustrator, and I'm going to show you maybe some problems that you'll run into going from Illustrator to Sketch as well. So I'm going to open both programs. Both programs are here on the computer. Sketch looks like what? Where is it? Do you see the icon anywhere here? They don't even have it in the dock here. Here we go. Let's. Hopefully it's on these computers still, or did they remake these computers? Here it is. It looks like a diamond. Okay. Remind me later. Okay, again, here's Sketch, and then I have Illustrator. I have both of them open at the same time. First thing I'm going to do is start with the Illustrator file. And don't worry about size right now. So let's quickly make a logo inside of Sketch. Quickly, I'm going to make a logo that's kind of a half of a circle. I'm going to make a quick logo here using the ellipse tool. Oh, jeez, really? The ellipse tool. And then let me make a rectangle tool. And let me cut a shape out of this using the Pathfinder. If I can find Pathfinder. There we go. It's like a Pac-Man. There's a Pac-Man. Pac-Man icon. And then let's practice what we learned last class. Remember doing the blend tool? Let's give this one color. Let's give this a different color. Let's turn off the stroke. And then let's use the blend tool. Do you remember the blend tool I was showing you that last class? It was this one. Remember the steps? Specify steps. And let's do like 3. There we go. Remember, I was thinking of the 70s look, right? Remember my 70s look? This is kind of 70s look. And let me put some text in there. I'm going to call it weather cycle. I don't know. I don't have a better name. You guys are going to have to come up with a better name for me. And that's like the most hideous font I've ever seen. What were you? Oh, Futura? There we go. We love Futura now, don't we? Okay, so we have a new logo that we came up with, and we want to take this into Sketch. First thing I'm going to do is remove the font. Nothing worse than taking a font from one computer to the other. If I was going to use this, and if you take this directly into Sketch from Illustrator, it's going to see this as text as well. It doesn't convert it into an object. Text comes over from Illustrator to Sketch as text. So what I usually do is I convert the text into an object. Then I'll do that. So here we go. If you remember, I'm going to click on my text to convert this into an object, so it's no longer seen as text. We go underneath Type, Create Outlines. Type, Create Outlines. By doing that, what it does is it creates it in now you can't retype it because it's no longer text with the I-bar. But again, it is text that you can use. It's text. It looks like text, but it's no longer a font. The other thing you might want to do is, I'm not sure how the blend works, but I'm going to convert the blend into an object, then I'm going to group it all together. One thing about bringing things over from Illustrator to Sketch is that the groups come over as groups, right? The little shape I have there is kind of grouped together, but it's grouped in the blend way of doing it. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take the objects that I have and I'm going to split them apart, and then I'm going to group them back together so that they're grouped in a certain way. So again, grouping is something that will, and then it'll come over as a group. When you bring things over to Sketch from Illustrator, it'll actually see them as objects like they were inside of Illustrator. So the other nice thing about, and that's why I said size didn't matter, because if I go from Illustrator to Sketch, you can scale it like you would any vector, right? Any vector. So it'll bring it over as a vector. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to select this and go under Object, Expand. Then I'm going to go Object, Group. Oh, it is a grouped. Okay, as long as it's grouped. Yeah, it looks like it's grouped because it said group. So when you do expand, it grouped it. Then I'm going to group the text to that object by Object Group. Okay, so now I group this to this. So just make sure everything's all in one group. So when you're using the selection tool, if you click and drag, it's dragging it as one big group. Do you see that? So there's two things I'm going to do with this. First thing, I'm going to save it as an Illustrator file, but before I save it, remember, you want to take the artboard and shrink it down. So again, I'm going to select all this and go underneath Object, Artboards, Fit to Art Bounds, shrink it down. Then I'm going to save that as Illustrator. This is my weather, my weather cycle. Okay, so how do I bring this into Sketch? Okay, well, first thing you can do is two ways you can bring it into Sketch. Again, we saved it as an Illustrator file. Make sure I grouped everything together, right? You saw me group it. Again, group is under Object. Group. You want to make sure group. You can copy and paste. That's a quick way. So again, I can hit Command C, copy. I could go over to the Sketch application. Let me start with a new design. I don't know which design I'm doing. How about if I just make a new file new? I just went under file new. I didn't even choose one of those. Notice how you don't have anything on your screen. It doesn't start with a default. Artboard. If you want an artboard like you see inside of Illustrator in Sketch, you need to actually make an artboard by going under Insert Artboard. Do you see that? Insert Artboard. When you say Insert Artboard, it'll then go, and then you have your pre-made ones here, or you can draw one. Notice how it turns into a plus here. So if I'm making an iPhone 8 or iPhone Plus or whatever, you can actually choose one of those. You don't have to choose one of those. You can actually just draw your own box if you want. It's okay. Draw your own box. You can give it a name. And so this is maybe my weather opening screen. So I want to put my logo in here. Again, I've copied and pasted it, right? I copied and pasted it. So I'm going to go hit Command V. And it shows up. So this is copied and pasted directly from Illustrator. Notice it says group over there, group 37. It's recognizing that you had a group from Illustrator and brought it over as a group. Notice how outside of the artboard you don't see it. Like in Illustrator, right? When you're drawing in Illustrator, you draw things outside the artboard and it goes outside and you can see it. Here, it kind of the artboard is like a mask. So now I can shrink this down. To shrink it down, you can either just normally see how you put your cursor over on the edge here, and I can scale it down. There we go. There we go. Notice how when you drag things around, it kind of has it in the center. See that? So it has alignment things. Notice it says group 37. If I double click on that, it changes the name and I can call it logo. Right? Okay, so it's a little bit different than Photoshop and Illustrator in that it has a big area over here for you to store your art because it thinks that you're going to reuse things a lot. We're going to reuse things. I'm going to reuse this logo a lot. I can just simply click on it here and drag it over. Okay, so I'm going to push this a little bit towards the top. Okay, so maybe I'm going to make some login screen here for the people to log in. Again, I'm in Sketch here. Also, I want a background to this as well. If I click on this, if I click over here, you notice the artboard is called Weather Opening. Do you see it here? When I click on it here, you'll notice there's a background color over here. So maybe your app has a background color. You can click on it here and you can give it a background color. You have hexadecimal values if it's a web kind of thing, or it could be there. I don't know. Remember I was saying I didn't want to use blue? I'm getting sick of blue. I don't know, but blue is so nice, isn't it? Blue. Bluer than blue. Oh. Whatever. We're going to use blue now because I can't think of anything else right now. Next, I want to make a box for a login screen. So in Sketch, you can make a box. So again, I'm still in my weather app. If I want to make a login screen, you insert objects are up here. So if you want a text on your screen, you go insert text. Do you see that? Insert text. There's no I bar like you have in the programs. So you don't have like you have in Illustrator where you have the little tool. You go insert to put things on your screen. So in this case, we're going to have a login, password, or make an account, right? Something like that. So we need 3 text. So I'm going to say text, and I'm going to click on the screen, and I'm going to type in what did I just say? Log in, and then again. When you got your font over here, you can highlight it, what font you want. Helvetica looks like default. Of course, I'm using iOS, so what are we going to use? iOS. What's SF stand for? San Francisco. What's the default font for an iOS? San Francisco. What's the default for Android? Today is the anniversary of the launch of Android. Today's the anniversary of the launch of Android. Today was opening. Google launched their phone today. I don't know, what was it? 12 years ago, I think? 2000. It was a year after, 2008. It was a year after Steve Jobs up there. Can you imagine the people at Google when they saw Steve Jobs up there going like this? They went into battleship mode, right, or battle mode. They needed to come up with an operating system quickly to compete with that, and they did. I give Google that. They came out with Android right away. Basically, they stole it from who? Where did Android come from? Sun Microsystems. It's basically Java. They stole Java. In fact, they've been sued. Google's been sued by Oracle, which owns Sun Microsystems now. Because Oracle was looking through the code and it's basically Java, right? And you're like, you stole our Java to make your Android. Google had so much money to say, here's $500 million, please leave us alone. Something like that. Okay, let's continue here. So I'm going to use San Francisco display. How about that? And let's make it a little bigger. This I can make big. When you're done, you just click on the screen and you can duplicate that if you want by using Option, click, and drag. And we can put in password. And then, and I don't know. This is just kind of a quick way of doing something. I don't know if this is what I want. Let's put it on this side. Let's just put it on this side. Something like this. And then let's put a box in. To insert a box, you can go underneath they got vector, they got pencil, they got shapes. You got your oval, you got your rectangle, you got your oval, you got your rounded rectangle, you got your line, you got your arrow, you got your triangle, you got your star, and your polygon. These are very common things you had inside of Illustrator and Photoshop as well. So we can say a rounded one if we want, and we can draw ourselves a rounded login box. Right? We could duplicate that as well. Whatever. Okay, you get the idea. A lot of shapes can quickly made. Duplicating, you all know how to do that with your option click away. So then I can make another screen. Notice over here also is every object that I make pops up over here. You can then rename it, right? This first one is my login box, right? This one is my password box. This is my oh, this says what it is right there. You see that? And then you can group these together just like you group anything and that. Then I can make another artboard. Usually what I do is when I make things inside of this program, I duplicate them. Remember, I didn't choose the standard iOS or iPhone 8 or 8. I just drew this box. Do you remember that? So I can duplicate. In fact, I'm going to duplicate everything and then delete what I don't want. So for my second screen, I'm going to highlight everything from the whole artboard, the entire artboard and all the artwork, everything. And I'm going to hold that Option key and click and drag. Oh, that's my mouse. The mouse is... No, I can't duplicate that entire thing. Why not? Oh, I can duplicate the page. Duplicate the page. That's what I wanted. And then I can move that page. Can I? I don't know why it's not doing it. I don't know if it's my cursor or is it me? Why is this not working for me? Oh, really? Okay, why can't I duplicate this? Duplicate. I can move it. Option, click it. There we go. I don't know. My mouse has been very fickle. But again, I selected the background and I held on the Option, click and drag. Now I duplicate. Notice though, it duplicates everything over here. So now it says I have a copy. And so this would be my first. So this is my opening screen. And then this would be my first screen here. And again, my logo is in a group. I can shrink that down. I'm going to put it up here. I don't need this. I'm going to delete this, this, and this. Then I can then go and start inserting some objects. Maybe I have a rectangle at the top for my thing. Uh-oh, what did I do? Well, remember things like this are overlapping each other. You can drag things around. Notice over here, you look at the way the things are organized here. I can take the rectangle and put it below the logo. There it is. Oh, now the logo shows up there. And then I could put some content in there. Some of the other content you would, again, you have your common shapes right here, right? Then you can do hotspots. Then you have iOS. You have these common bars here. Okay, so these are common things for iOS. You can have a navigational bar. I can insert a navigational bar. That's up here at the top. Okay. Now usually when I do the navigational bar, let me move this stuff down here. Usually it's gonna be fitting in there. Okay, this is the standard Mac navigational bar. Right? You've seen that before. Usually it says back up there or something where it says parent title and stuff. So you have these pre-made things inside there. I probably should have used the standard one. I just kind of wanted to show you can make your own box, but I probably should have used the standard. Some other things you can put in as well in the iOS. You got your keyboard. Again, if somebody's going to be typing something, like let's just say that they're going to type in their login and password. You want that to show up here. And we can put that down below here in this thing. And then, yeah, whatever. And then Actually, put it above. There we go. And then you can, so you can do that as well. What are some other parts? You got your keyboard, you got your miscellaneous, big button, 3D touch, round checkbox, override, activity view, airdrop contact. You've had airdrop contacts, right? You ever see that? If you're an iOS person, right? You have a picture that's here. Of course, you don't want to use that person. You can go and change that person. Whenever you bring something in that's a standard thing like this, it brings it in as a group. Then you double click on it and you customize it yourself. So again, I want to change this person here, Jane, to somebody else. To do that, you'll notice over here is an image. See it over here, right here? See, choose image right here. Okay, so the first thing you want to do is you want to customize this. Okay, so this is a symbol, and if you go and try and change this right now, it's going to ask you that, hey, you want to change this picture? Sure. So let me go find somebody else. And so let's go and find a new person. Oh, what are we going to do? Flickr, right? And what are we doing? Cool dude. Did we type that in already once? We want a cool dude. Commercial modification allowed. That's a chicken. Oh no, that's a bird, not a cool dude, is it? Oh, that's it. Remember the kid I had there? Oh, that's like the dude from that movie, right? What movie was it? From okay, we'll use this dude. He looks kind of cool. So we're going to save him. Oh, where did he go? Oh, there he is. Let's save this dude. Where did it go? Where's my downloads? Oh, God. So again, downloads. There's the dude. Okay, so you got a dude in there. Then you can change the name as well. Dude. There you go. So even if you're using the pre-made things, you can customize them and so on. So I don't want to go through too much sketch with you today. I just wanted to introduce you to it. I think you should start trying it. It's what most people use. Even Sue, when she was making apps a couple years ago, she quit doing that. But, you know, I brought her in to talk to the students before I hired her as the teacher here, and you know, she kept telling me, oh, we use Sketch. You know, so. Think about that. Again, you save this as well. So I will go through next class, and I'll have my wireframes and all that for you, and I'll show you my example, but I need you to build your own example, and I want you to come up here and show us what you've done next class, okay? Okay.